All right, we are, thanks to Anthony, on ears and hair. I hadn't continued because I didn't really get anything from anyone, so I thought maybe you guys weren't doing it and I wasn't going to go crazy making videos, but I love that you're making portraits. So we're going to talk about some ears and hair. Um, I have to talk about ears first because wherever ears are kind of has to do with how you would draw short hair. So you need ears first. If you were to look at yourself in the mirror and let's see, you're stuck with me. Oh, whoa. There we go. If you were to look in a mirror and you start at like your corner of your eye and you turn your head, that line is going to line up with the tip of your ear. And then if you start at the bottom of your ear and turn your head in, you're going to end up somewhere around your mouth or your nose. Right? My head was a little tilted there, so maybe more my upper lip. Now, ears and noses are those things that like grow forever. So my ears and my nose are bigger because I'm old. So on your project, stop. No. Sorry, my dog's eating little strings. I don't know why it looks like the sun is on this. Focus, there we go. So on here, what that would mean, sorry about that, what that would mean is kind of go from the corner of your eye to the edge of your head. And then I'm going to go from the top of my upper lip to the edge of my head. Now, ears are, there's a little bit more things going on in them. Like if I were to look at this with my husband's head tilted, I can see more going on in this ear. But if you're drawing someone kind of just straight forward, you can get away with just kind of making like a long, skinny oval. So from here, when we talk about hair, I find it convenient to think of Legos. So remember when you play with Legos and like their hair comes off like a hair helmet? So what I would tell you to do is to look in a mirror and imagine how you would draw the edges of that hair helmet and really look at how it comes down by your ears, edges of your eyes, and how it comes down on your foreheads. Like so far, we've had kind of like a larger forehead here, but that's because a lot of times people start to draw their hair just up here when really your hair comes down probably about halfway down your head. So if I were going to draw my husband's hair, because it's running away from his head, I notice how his hair comes down right above his ear and then it kind of comes in. So his hair helmet is going to do something like this, and it goes across. And then even though his head's tilted, I can assume that it's doing like the same thing on the other side. So from here is where, if somebody has bigger hair or even if someone has like a shaved head, we don't need to have like this big roundness of this oval going on anymore. So the oval got us started, but now we want to kind of like fine tune it so it doesn't look like we have like these egg heads. So I'm going to go from the top of this and kind of soften that up. It's kind of like a square, ovalish shape that's going on. So that might be how some guy's hair is drawn. We're just doing the shapes, right? So it's just a hair helmet. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that. And we'll do another hair helmet. Okay, so let's see, how about draw her hair. Okay, this is my sister-in-law. So her hair helmet, if I'm looking at what it's doing, it's kind of, her head's tilted down, so it does seem like she's got like more forehead space and this space seems bigger. But if I were to straighten out her head, I could probably bring her hair down a little bit lower on her head. So it's kind of parted going across, and then it's coming pretty close to her eye. So I'm going to have it kind of come down like this. And I can kind of see like a piece here. Oh, my dog's mad. And then it's curving in. And then on the other side where her part is, it's coming down. And it's also covering up her ear. And again, her head's tilted, so this is a little bit different, but this is kind of like the inside of my hair helmet shape. And then on the top, it's going to come down something like that. And something like that. And then I would go ahead and I would erase the parts that it's covering up. So it's covering up her ears, it's covering up part of her face. And this might also be the time when I go back in and I kind of adjust this oval that's like my chin and make it look like the line that you see here. So here, her chin's like a little bit pointier down at the bottom. Does something more like that. That seems a little crooked there, so fix that up. Something that I always notice people do is when you get around to that point where you color hair in, you kind of like just color like these pieces here, like here and here. And especially on girls, you forget that like there's hair back here too. Like it's not like you just have hair growing off the sides of your head, it's in the back too. So there's another hair that you could do. What if you are wearing a headband or you have bangs or something like that? It's the same rules. It's looking creepy. Same kind of rules. So if you're wearing a headband, that oval that you have at the top of your head is about where that headband would be. And if you think about it like a headband, you're not going to see it tucked behind the ears because your hair is overlapping it. So say this is my headband, right? And if my person were to have bangs, it's still like a hair helmet kind of shape. I just don't want to make the line going straight across. So maybe this is kind of piecey. And there's guys that have like hair that comes down by their eyebrows too. So something like this, right? And then maybe hair comes down. Maybe it's got a little bit of a wave to it. Maybe some of it's going over the shoulder and some of it's going back. And then you are going to have the top part of it that's like behind the headband. So I'm going to go for something like this. Okay. So I hope that helps first. So we did ears, which I know I went and erased. So let's pretend this person has ears showing. And then we're drawing like the hair helmet. So it's like a piece, like breaking the hair down into shapes and putting it on. The next video, I'm going to talk about doing hair, like the textures, and doing some shading. Okay, onward.